All right, let's talk about a building, but not just any building. Imagine one single structure in Istanbul that has watched empires crumble, completely reinvented itself over and over, and has been standing for, get this, more than 1.5 millennia. Yeah, today we're diving into the absolutely incredible story of the Hagia Sophia.
I mean, how does a building even do that? How does it outlast the very empires that built it? That's the real question here, right? This story is so much more than just stone and mortar. We're talking about resilience, reinvention, and the sheer force of history. So let's go back, way back, to the beginning.
You see, the story of the Hagia Sophia that we know today doesn't start with some quiet, peaceful construction. Oh no, it begins in total chaos, with a cycle of complete and utter destruction, and then rebirth.
So you can see a pretty brutal pattern emerging, right? The first church goes up in 360 AD, thanks to Emperor Constantine, but it had a wooden roof. Not exactly the most durable material. And sure enough, boom, political riots in 404 burn it to the ground. Okay, so they rebuild it by 415, but you guessed it, with another wooden roof. And what happens? History just repeats itself. A little over 100 years later, the massive Nika revolt kicks off, and the second church meets the exact same fiery end. Just gone.
And this is the real turning point. After watching the second church burn to ashes, Emperor Justinian I didn't just want to patch things up. No, he saw a massive opportunity. He ordered the entire site to be cleared. He was going to build something the world had never, ever seen before. A true statement of power, faith, and ambition.
So, the stage was set for the third, and as it turns out, the final Hagia Sophia. And this wasn't just going to be another rebuild. This was a revolution in engineering and design.
Justinian gave his top architects, Isidoros of Milet and Anthemios of Tralles, a task that was, frankly, almost impossible. He demanded a massive basilica, built in just 6 years, and he wanted it crowned with a dome so vast it would look like it was literally hanging from the heavens. Nothing on this scale had ever been attempted. But they hit a major snag, almost right away. See, they were building so fast that the mortar didn't even have time to set properly. With all that weight from the heavy materials, the main walls actually started to buckle outwards. They tried everything to fix it, even wrapping a giant chain around the base of the dome, but no dice. In the end, the whole thing, the first version of that magnificent dome, just collapsed. It was a total failure. Back to the drawing board.
But these architects were brilliant. They learned from that catastrophic failure. They rebuilt, this time creating a lighter dome and adding these massive supports, buttresses, to counteract the outward push of all that weight. And this time they cracked the code. They created a design so stable, so perfectly balanced, that it survived earthquakes, wars, and the crushing weight of centuries.
And the success of that design is just staggering. Over 1,500 years. Just let that sink in for a second. An architectural marvel that has outlasted the very empire that built it. Incredible.
But the innovation wasn't just the dome. The whole thing was basically a global project for its time. Marble was shipped in from Anatolia and Syria, bricks were brought in from as far away as North Africa, and the inside? Well, it was a reflection of Byzantine society, with 2 whole levels of seating to keep people separated by class and gender. And here's a cool fact. Those iconic golden mosaics we all think of, they weren't even part of the original design. Later emperors added them, literally layering new history right on top of the old.
For almost 1,000 years, Hagia Sophia was the beating heart of Orthodox Christianity. But in the 15th century, its identity was about to undergo its most profound transformation yet.
This date, 1453, changes everything. It marks the end of an era. When Sultan Mehmed the Conqueror took the city of Constantinople, he didn't tear down its greatest building. No, instead he repurposed it, changing not just its function, but its entire silhouette against the sky.
And the change was, well, it was dramatic. Think about it. One moment, it's the place where Byzantine emperors are crowned, the heart of their faith. The next, it's a central place of worship for a new empire. The changes were physical, too. Those beautiful Christian mosaics, they were covered up with plaster. Huge circular panels with stunning Islamic calligraphy were hung from the pillars. And then, the most obvious change of all, 4 towering minarets were built outside, completely transforming the building's profile forever.
But the transformations didn't stop there. As we roll into the modern era, the whole debate over what Hagia Sophia should be, well, it gets even more complicated.
If you just look at the last 200 years or so, you see even more twists and turns. There was a major restoration in the mid-1800s that added some new architectural flavors. Then, in 1935, the new secular Republic of Turkey made a huge call. They turned Hagia Sophia into a museum, a monument to human history for everyone to appreciate. And that's how it stayed until very, very recently, in 2020, when it was converted back into a functioning mosque.
So, what is Hagia Sophia today? The truth is, it's not just one thing. It's a church, a mosque, and a museum, all wrapped up in one. Its walls are like a manuscript that's been written and rewritten by different empires, different faiths, and different politics. It's a living, breathing symbol of Istanbul's deep, layered history.
Which of course leaves us with one final, big question. For a building that has been constantly changing and redefining itself for more than a millennium and a half, its story is clearly not over. Its incredible past is a testament to change, and its future, well, that remains unwritten.